Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News Update. Nigerians may just have to deal with a nationwide blackout if the federal government fails to meet the demands of the National Union of Electricity Employees. The workers converged on the Transmission Company of Nigerian headquarters this morning, stating that its members will withdraw their services tomorrow over issues of staff welfare. The workers, in a notice by its General Secretary, Joe Ajaero, urged its members to comply with the directive and stop work from 17th of August. The union had issued a 14-day ultimatum to the Managing Director of TCN in May 2022, threatening to down tools if the complaints were not resolved. They also complained about the failure of the authorities to pay the entitlement of former staff of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria in December 2019. Let's now turn our attention to NASARAWA, where the Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Yakubu Lawal, has been abducted by gunmen. The gunmen who invaded the residence of the Commissioner in NASARAWA, Egon local government, last night before taking him to an unknown destination. The police public relations officer, Rahman Nansel, who confirmed the incident, said a combined detachment of police units were mobilized to the scene, but they arrived after the gunmen had left. Meanwhile, the State Commissioner of Police, Adesina Oshoyemi, has set up a search and rescue operation team to rescue the victim on hot and arrest the perpetrators. And President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the End Malaria Council in line with the African Union Assembly Declaration. At the event, President Muhammadu Buhari stated that eradicating malaria will save Nigeria from estimated economic burden totaling about 687 billion naira in 2022 and 2 trillion naira by 2030. The 16-member council, to be chaired by Aliko Dangote, is expected to drive the federal government's commitment to end malaria in the country. President Buhari lamented that Nigeria alone accounts for 27% of all cases of malaria and 32% of deaths globally. Other members of the council are Permanent Secretary, Office of the Vice President on Political and Economic Affairs, Shehu Ibrahim, Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, Chairman, Senate Committee on Health, among others. And it's now more than 5 months since the strike embarked on by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, and despite several meetings by the union and the federal government, no solution is in sight. The youth parliaments of Edo and Delta states have appealed to the federal government and striking university lecturers to resolve their issues and put an end to the industrial action. Iken Amechi reports.
Topmost on the minds of these parliamentarians as they start to deliberate here is the industrial action embarked by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, now in its 6th month. Students have been on the receiving end of stalemate in the dispute between government and university teachers.
I am pleading to the right authorities and the proper appropriate stakeholders to please come to a proper resolution, come to a proper agreement so that we can have youths go back to school. We can have those with ambition, those with bright futures go back to school. They are yet to be admitted into the university. How can that be resolved at this stage? Someone who graduated in 2021 and someone who graduated in 2022, they've not even been admitted to the school, and the school will not be able to combine both sets because they are from different years.
To the young legislators, priority should be placed on the educational sector of the country, which has been neglected for a long time, resulting in strike by ASUU.
The effect of this strike has generated to the level that our educational system is not correct about. I want to appeal to the conscience of the government of the day. The federal government and all relevant stakeholders to please sit back and revisit this issue of strike. If we can borrow to do roads, borrow to fund school feeding programs, we should be able to borrow to resolve our strike so that the leaders of tomorrow can continue their academic activity and graduate and become resourceful to the nation.
Mr. Speaker, our educational system is drastically going down. It will interest you to know that some of these students are no longer interested in going back to school.
Budgetary allocation to education in Nigeria is far less than the recommended 15% by UNESCO, and it has been on a steady decline in recent times. The youth parliaments also want robust collaboration between governors of Edo and Delta states on tackling insecurity, especially cases of kidnapping at their boundaries. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Benin.
Efforts to reduce the hardship experienced by Nigerians in all parts of the country have led citizens to participate in capacity building and empowerment programs. Now, one of such programs held in Benin, the Edo State capital, with a training of more than 50 persons in various entrepreneurial skills. Paul Ezenwa reports.
Tackling youth unemployment has been the order for successive governments in Nigeria, as it is a global challenge that forms the core economic policy plan in nearly all economies. Information from the National Bureau of Statistics puts unemployment rate at 33.3%, while youth unemployed stood at 42.5%. Concerns over this growing number of unemployed youth in Nigeria is the reason for the skill training and empowerment program by a non-governmental organization with the aim to meaningfully engage unemployed youths.
When we train them on this, they will produce back, take to the market, and make a living for themselves.
God-given talent in our young men and women has to be harnessed. And in doing that, programs like this have to be encouraged. And well-meaning Nigerians should know that for us to get out of the situation we are now, some of us that God has blessed, this is the time to emulate programs like the Olore Group, for us to be able to get these young men to discover their talent.
The over 50 beneficiaries, drawn from the 3 senatorial districts of the state, who were trained in bag making, spoke of the importance of the training.
With this thing they've given to us today, this machine they've given to us today, I hope to put them to practice and learn more and bring up other youths to join me.
With those materials, we're able to produce a good and quality bags also. Instead of you going to China to import bags, we also want to make bags and send to China too, for them to help us to sell.
First of all, we empower them with the skills for them to start up their lives. And as a coordinator, my job now is to make sure I follow up with those graduates of today. And I'm going to make sure that each of them go back home to start doing something with those traits, those skills that they've learned. We want to make sure that they empower more people.
Investment in the brain and mind is indeed the height of capacity building. Those persons empowered through this program are expected to train others, which is the order or the circle of productivity. Paul Ezenwa, TVC News, Benin.